Dad and Me, political talk on Fubo TV.
The following program is for mature audiences only. Your discretion is advised.
Hey, Damian Costello here, and this is a new segment of the Costello Show. I'm actually nervous and excited because my guest that I have is someone that I know very well. I've known him my entire life for 33 years and 2.5 months now. It's a very specific time because he is my father, Carl Porfirio. Dad, how are you doing?
Great.
That's all you're going to say is just great?
How you doing?
It's like looking in, I don't know, in a time machine. I know what I'm going to look like when I'm old.
Oh, I hope you look better than this.
I don't know. Come on, better than you? I don't know about that.
I sincerely hope you look better than this.
Oh, you just turned into a robot on me, so don't touch your phone anymore. You look
Oh.
good. You look very good. So now my dad here.
These are my real teeth.
They are, and I'm not showing mine. No, mine are good. All right. Except I look like crap. I'm not shaved. I know you can't see me because I'm bringing you in from afar. Normally people are sitting here in the studio. We'll do that with you soon, I hope. But now I'm going to finally introduce. What?
Where's the far? You're bringing me in from afar. Where's the far?
Well, when you're in Missouri, he's in an undisclosed location down in Georgia. I just don't want to tell people because look, I have some people that follow me that they might burn your house down. I don't know.
They might. They might hunt me down.
They might burn it down.
Stacey Abrams might hunt me down and kill me, for sure.
That was I don't know what you were doing there, but that was scary looking. What are you doing? This is why I usually don't bring my dad on. I just took his mic away. I took his screen off. So now we're going to talk about something else. He's done for the day. No, I'm just kidding. So I want to talk to you anyway, Dad. I know that, or should I call you Carl on a show? Mr. Porfirio. And people that don't know, my real last name's Porfirio. So if you didn't know that, now you know. You have lots of followers. People aren't really aware of that are my friends because most of my friends are they're left-wing pussies, so they don't follow. I know I love my sorry, I didn't hit the beep button. They're left-wing pussies. I don't know if I know you can't hear the beep, but
I think you could. I think you could say that word on most shows now. So
well, it's my show and it's my network. So if they don't like it, well, I don't know. Remember what happened to PTV on Family Guy? And be careful, they shut him down pretty quick. So, but you got a lot of followers. When I say a lot, how many followers would you have had before? But just tell me the number that you were at before you were shadow banned and before all of them got banned.
Well, I was over 30 something followers.
30,000.
Sorry, 30 something thousand followers before the purge came and they started wiping us all out. But I'm back up to I think I'm back up to 18 right now. So
18,000 though. So that's still a good number, especially for kind of the line of I guess of work you do.
Well, yes, it is for the group that we're in right now because they try to shut us down left and right, like they have all the right-wing people and shutting everybody down. So I mean, hey, I'm fortunate. Some accounts that had well over 100,000 got shut down, got completely wiped out. Why they haven't wiped me out, I don't know. I don't know. I've certainly said some things that were questionable.
It's because you're not threatening enough yet. And in my personal opinion, when I see this stuff, you're what they call a messenger. You like to pass along messages, but you lay pretty low. So I mean, they don't see you as a threat. Maybe.
Well, I don't know. One time, I actually messaged Jack Dempsey, the CEO of Twitter, and I said, "Hey, Jack, what do you?" Because you could do the @Jack thing on Twitter, and I'm sure he doesn't read it, but his minions do. And I said, "What are you so afraid of?" Because he keeps shadow banning me. I don't know if your listeners are familiar with the shadow ban.
Oh, they are.
But they're like, okay, so if they can't shut you down, they just shadow ban you, which I stay shadow banned. So I said to Jack one time, I go, nobody was seeing my tweets. I go, Jack, what are you afraid of? I said, I'm a Gold Star father. I'm just an old guy. I'm just a regular guy. I only have, umpteen followers, 1,000 followers. What are you so afraid of? And miraculously, he unshadow banned me for a short time. for a short time.
So you actually contacted and got unshadow banned.
I don't know. I don't know if that happened, but as soon as I said that, I became unshadow banned for a little while, and my tweets started going up, my followers started going up, because that's what they'll do. Your followers will go up, and then all of a sudden, boom, they'll just purge your followers.
Yeah.
They'll just purge them away through algorithms. And of course, it's a lot of us have learned now to use a capital letter and a small letter and a space and a something you need to learn, Damien. That you need to learn. So you gotta so the algorithms don't pick up every little thing.
Sure.
So, like I noticed a lot of people are spelling Biden now Buy.
Yes.
Yeah, and leaving a space Biden and stuff. People are catching on. So because they know what shuts them down. Anyway.
That's so I mean, but what is your primary? When you say these groups, you don't have to give your group up or anything, but when you're talking about these groups, what style of groups are they? Are they entertainment? Are they political? Is it what do you guys?
No.
What are you?
And I hate to just say they're political because I never considered myself political. You know that I consider myself a right-wing Christian conservative, and so are most of the people that I associate with, and I'm talking doctors, lawyers, engineers, chemists, pharmacists, all different people. Also, I've some of the politicians, and I've interacted with and things like that. But these people want to get the word out. We're trying to save America, number one. I mean, I don't know if you know anybody that thinks we're not hurting right now, because we are hurting.
Oh yeah.
Patriotism to this country, especially having a wonderful son like you and teaching you from the time you were little, that the flag is important, that police officers were important, that you teachers were important. Of course, I have a whole different perspective now about teachers, if you want to get into that. But yeah, so I mean, people say blame the college, blame this, but the colleges, talk to any teacher and they'll tell you what they had to learn in college. So they're being told to become these left-wing political hacks and push it off onto the kids. When I went to school, I had to learn about the Constitution. I had to learn about our state constitution. I had to learn about a federal constitution. These are things that kids don't know, and they don't know them unless they're taught. And you have to teach them. And it's not an easy thing to teach a kid what the Bill of Rights is,
Right.
and to teach the kids, exactly. So you have to keep pushing it. And me, it's painful for me. I mean, you know better. You're very highly intelligent. You know how to read. You know how to research. You know how to make up your own mind.
Whoa.
And
hey, the front that I put up with my people is I pretend that I'm too stupid so people don't ask me to do stuff. So you never, anything that you just said, I used to be like that. Now I'm just a stupid pile of crap that just sits in a studio and does nothing, right?
Yeah, right. Yeah,
Okay.
that's what people want to think. But that's not the truth, and that's not who Damien is. So, Damien, you are a patriot. You are a faithful man. You are a good husband and a good father, and you're all the things that truly what America was put here for, and other countries.
Thank you.
I mean, people in other countries want to be. Everybody certainly wants to be a good spouse or a good father or a good mother. You hope. But, I've learned, and if you learn, because you've been all over the world, people are the same. Everywhere you go, people are the same. They want health and happiness for their family. They want peace. They want to be able to enjoy life, work, get a home, send their kids to school, send their kids to church, and enjoy life, And the left just keeps wanting to take that away. They're chaos and anarchy constantly, and to me it's just fun for them. It's just fun for them. And you remember when you were a little boy, I would talk about anarchy. You remember?
Yeah, I do.
The
Absolutely.
word, and I would talk about how some of the rock groups would promote anarchy and things like that, and most these. So anarchy is really bad for me. But I like things neat in a pile in a straight line, and you're a little on the messy side, but
Oh yeah. Well,
I'm
I have 10
opposite.
different projects a day, and I change up what I do, and I get bored quickly.
Yeah.
So I have to get change. You could say my life, it's not anarchy, but it's it's chaotic.
Well, I think you need to put a sign behind your desk there that says, "Pick one, get her done." That's what you need to do.
No, I don't think I don't think that'll work,
Yeah.
because then that'll just distract me and it'll give me an idea to do something else.
No, yes, that's true. But see, that's why you need to pick one, get her done.
Pick
All
one
your
and get her
listeners have.
done.
Pick one, get her done. Yes, pick one, get her done, and then pick the next one and get her done, and then pick the next one and get her done, or else nothing gets done. Nothing. And we can't have a world of nothing getting done.
If you only knew what I was doing right now, then I'm glad that you can't see me. Say something. Look, just say anything.
Something, anything. What are you doing?
Oh,
So I hope you're not scribbling or doing little or jigsaw puzzles or doodling and not paying attention to your father. I hope you're not doing that.
No,
But,
no. I'm not. I don't have a doodle screen. One of those things where you can write. I don't have one of those.
Let me tell you something. If you disrespect the dead, you're going to get nasty grams on here. You're going to get lots and lots of nasty grams.
Oh, really?
So, yes, really. So don't disrespect the dad.
Oh,
Don't do that.
I wasn't.
But,
I'm trying to figure out how to do this thing now.
What thing?
See this? They can see it now on the screen. It's supposed to let me draw on you, but it's not.
Oh, are you drawing funny faces on your dad?
No.
I already have a funny face.
I was
need a
trying to, but
facelift.
it's not working. I don't know. It doesn't work. So, but
I borrow about 20 grand for a facelift. I need one. I need a facelift.
Yeah, so if anyone wants to sign up for Patreon, 10% of everything will go to Carl's facelift. No, I'm just kidding. You
my
do
facelift
have
on your
a current thing that people could buy on Amazon. I know you're not serious about the facelift. There is a book that you have
Yes,
out.
I am. I need a facelift. Look at that.
Oh well, okay. So there you go. If anything that he's selling you, he wants a facelift. So.
No, I'm not going to buy a facelift.
Wait, who
I'll
are you,
die
Joe
looking all
Biden? Come on.
saggy. I'll die looking all saggy. Oh hell, he hasn't had a facelift. Give me a break.
Well, exactly. Remember, that's why they said his ears are different now.
Well,
His ears and his eyes are different because of a facelift.
Oh yeah, that's
Conspiracies.
all cosmetic surgery. Pelosi and her eyes and her cosmetic surgery. I mean, come on. I mean, that looks good, Brady. I mean, people forget how old that she is. And she looks damn good. I think her and Michael Jackson had the same plastic surgeon. I'm pretty sure. But
Hey, careful with the name dropping here.
Remember, she lives in MJ. So she lives in California, the home of the best plastic surgeons, apparently, because those people all on plastic surgery all the time.
Right.
So that's where they live, and I always said that. As much as I can't stand the woman, I always say, hey, she's got a good plastic surgeon. But she sure looks great for 80. I believe she's 80. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe she's 80, isn't she?
She is 80, yeah, or 81.
She's up there. I don't know.
Well, back
she's
on
got
track. There is
everything, I'm pretty
something.
Oh, did we get off track? What we're on track?
Yeah. Well, I was
what track were we on?
gonna talk about your book. You have a book that's out, kids book that's out.
My book.
Yes.
My book. My children's book.
Well, tell us about it. Even though I've
Okay.
plugged it before, I want you to be able to plug it on here and just tell people about that briefly, if you would.
Well, as your listeners and followers probably most know, since you're working on a movie about PTSD and everything, but I wrote a children's book. I have a grandson, your nephew, and I wrote a book after your brother died, called here it is. My Daddy's Heart Is Purple.
Yep, there it
See
is, and
that?
I've got my copy. My kids, they ask for us to read it, so it's pretty cool. They'll still ask. Even the older one will ask if we'll read it. Or
So nice.
the youngest, she'll sit in her room and she borrows it from us and reads it in her bed a lot.
That's so sweet. I
Yeah.
love my girls. They're so.
Don't
sweet.
say their
But,
names. I'll have to censor you.
I won't say that. No, I'm not. That's why I said I love my girls. I'm not going to say their names.
Well, I have a beeper. I know you can't hear it, but you could say, oh, and so it beeps out.
No, I try to be polite when I'm on the air, so I don't.
You're easy to have on the air.
I don't use nasty words, so this is not the Jerry Springer show. We don't need to bleep out every other word. So what the hell did they say? Oops. Anyway,
the F word is definitely permitted on Gumo TV. The last show that I was just on it's funny. I told them that I was going on air with you, and the back-to-back shows that we have in the studio, polar opposites. And I told them about you and what's really cool. And I'm going to go ahead and say this because you're a good guy, and I want people to know that. So it's a new show that we're working on. It's a married gay couple, and they have a show that's around town and T-Roy TV. It's T-Roy and Kevin. So I'm producing one of their shows. They're doing pilot episodes for a talk show. And I was telling them about you, and I said, well, what?
We're not gay haters.
No, that's what I told him. I said, look, I'm getting ready to go on air with a guy who's actually my dad. And I said, and he's right wing. He is very conservative. And I said, but one way that he raised me is, you don't hate people. And I've never been taught, that gays were wrong and this and that. I said, my dad's he's a Catholic conservative. He'll put a Trump sign in his front yard and he'll tell you to just fuck off, He'll put 2 Trump signs in his front yard. And but they thought it was really neat. And I think it's neat that I'm really trying to bring that diversity around. And I know, father, like son, I am a lot different than you.
My neighbor down the street put because he lives next to a gay married couple right down at the end of the cul-de-sac here. Mm-hmm. So, everyone thinks we're these redneck, good old boys. We do live out in the country, but we have a married gay couple right here in this neighborhood. And so he put, only because they were for Biden, so he put gays for Trump signs up in his yard. I thought that was really... He put the rainbow flag, Trump sign, gays for Trump, and put those in his yard, and I thought that was fantastic. So, he's trying to tell his neighbor, look,
it's not because they're gay, it's because they're voting for Biden.
Exactly. Yeah, it had nothing to do with their gayness. It had nothing to do with that. It has to do with because they're voting for Biden. And the thing about it, you know what? I don't care who your partner is. I don't care who they are. It's not my business. Just because I'm conservative, I'm not in your bedroom. And we don't care. All I care about is that you have good company and good morals and good values. Yeah. I said about all my kids, I said, you know what? If one of my sons chose to be gay and his partner was a fantastic guy versus him marrying an ugly skank of a woman that's hateful and mean and dirty, I would take the gay guy. If he was nice and because it's about your character. It's not about your sexual preference.
Right.
That's what it's about. And I don't give a damn about that stuff. And most of us don't. It's propaganda that they put forth that they want you to believe that we're all haters and all white supremacists and all. And
it's coming to that. And now look, I will tell people there is still racism that exists, and I'm gonna retouch.
Always.
I'll touch a story with you. You know the story, but these listeners won't know, and I won't say my friend's name. But you met my 2 friends that came with me to Atlanta, and you bought us breakfast, and they hung out, and you came to our hotel room when we were filming the movie Bad Boys for Life. Oh, shameless promotion. Right. Oh wait, I gotta play the little sound. Hold on. I'm playing a song. Can you hear that?
I heard something.
Okay, I was playing. It's a police song. So we were visiting down there, but on our way down,
and don't forget the wonderful movie you made, because I love that movie.
Oh, the final cut.
On your way down there to Atlanta.
I almost forgot the improv film.
That, what is it? 5 minutes long?
About 5 minutes.
People haven't watched the final cut. They need to watch the final cut. I love that movie. Of course, I contributed a little of my ideas, but it was, and your friends were just awesome, and the movie was just. I laugh and laugh every time I see the movie. It's just such a great movie.
I almost forgot about that movie.
Oh my gosh, Damien, and I don't want to ruin it for anybody, so they need to watch.
Well, I'll tell you what, I will play that movie. I'll play a trailer, here in a bit.
I don't know. I think you know.
Honestly, I'll put it in the description. Look, hey, if you guys want to watch the final cut,
when you get when you
below.
get rid of me, just play the whole movie. Just get rid of me and then play the whole movie. What is it? Like I said, 5 minutes.
yeah, it is.
And it's a very good movie.
Okay, that'll be good because then everyone will know the guys that we're talking about. So
Sure.
and then they'll have their names, so it's fine. Carlo and Pharrell, I can say their names because they're gonna know their names, and shout out to them because they're wonderful actors and producers, and they're down in Southern Arkansas. Well, anyway, they met me. They're in Little Rock. They met up with me, and we had to head towards Georgia, but we were going towards Eastern Arkansas, which goes down into Mississippi. You know exactly, or in Alabama. I'm sorry, Alabama, and then you can either go to Mississippi or up towards Tennessee or whatever. So we were traveling, and at the time, I was still using nicotine. I am nicotine free and caffeine free, but we stopped at a smoke shop, and also, we may or may not have needed some papers or something. I don't know. So, for medicinal purpose. Not while driving though. It's because we were gonna stop at a hotel. Anyway, we pull up to this middle of nowhere smoke shop. We had seen signs for the smoke shop, and we all get out of the car, and it's like a movie. They stop. And they're like, "Oh, no, not for us, man." And they get back in the car, and I'm like, "What's wrong?" And he goes, "Oh, we're probably not allowed in there." And I was like, and I looked at the door, and they have a big sign. It says "White Pride, White Radio, KKK," and it's all this anti-black and it said like no Jews, and it was horrible. So there is still stuff like that exists. But that is like 1% of the white population that even believes in that terrible crap.
Look, I have lived here, you know where you're from, and I've lived here my whole life, and I have never encountered that. Now, you know what?
Right, and this was Arkansas, by the way. This is the one state, they still have issues with it. So I've never seen it in my life. That was the first time I have ever seen that in my entire life.
Okay, years ago, one of my black female friends was whining one day, and I said, look, Val, I'm Catholic, I'm brown, I'm Italian. I said, you think the KKK doesn't hate me as much as they hate you? Because I said, you're wrong if you think they don't, because they do. They do.
They absolutely do. You're not solid, you're not white.
Well, and not only that, they hate Catholics. They hate Catholics. Catholicism, they're they follow the Church of England and all that stuff.
Might I say though, they love their liberal Southern Baptist though. Isn't that funny? I'm just throwing that out there. It is truth. The Southern Baptist Democrats, they started the KKK. I just wanted to throw that out there.
So absolutely they did. And and now back in before you were born, in the 70s, I had a black female friend, and I lived in a very, very small town. I won't mention its name, in Tennessee. So, I was the youngest person, and the older people that worked there, they were already in their late 50s, and I'm a teenager. So I'm 18, 19, and they're already in their late 50s. So, they knew what it was like during the civil rights in the South and the civil rights movement, and they knew what that was like. And it takes time, and people have to overcome those things. And they would say things to me like, "Oh yeah, this black family tried to go to the Baptist church one day up on the hill, and they told them real quick, 'Hey, your church is over there,' and pointed over across the tracks." And I was appalled when they were telling me this, because I'm hip, I'm 70s, I'm all that.
Sure.
Peace and love and all that sort of thing. And and like I said, and so my female friend, who's very good looking, and she would drop into the store where I worked, and I would get, they would laugh and harass me and things. But it's their ignorance. It's where they were raised, where people were raised. But let me tell you, go to one of the towns in Memphis. Go to any town in Memphis that's all black, where those kids were raised, and watch how racist and prejudiced they are against white people, that they were taught. People say that white people teach racism, but that's not true. It could be true.
Sure.
But black people also teach racism. Black people also teach their kids, some, not all, that white people are bad.
Well, do you think,
I'll
I'll ask your advice. Should I tell my quick story about Memphis from being 9
Sure.
years old. I don't.
Sure.
I think
Absolutely.
I've shared that once, but not on here. So for any of my followers, so I was staying with some family down in Memphis, and not Carl's side of the family. Is that correct?
Yeah, not my side of the family.
Okay. I was staying down.
Definitely not my side of the family.
I was 9 years old, and I wanted to go swim in a pool. It was an apartment complex in Memphis, and not a great part of Memphis. Typical, low income apartment. And I went to the swimming pool, and just by myself, of course. But I just wanted to go make friends, and there was these kids playing in the pool, and I jump in the pool and keep trying to play with them, and they're like being really mean to me, and I can't figure it out. And all of a sudden, one of them goes, "Get out of here, fish belly!" And I didn't know what that was. I'm like, what? And he's like, "Yeah, Whitey, get out of here!" And they started cussing me out and like telling me they didn't want to be my friend. And by the way, they were all black kids. I didn't see that. To me, I wanted to play with
No,
some
because
kids.
you weren't raised that way.
Right. I was never
weren't
you
raised that way.
never raised me, and that's what I was telling my friends earlier. I said, my dad raised me to not hate anybody. It's as long as people don't step on your beliefs, then that's fine. If they step on your
Well,
beliefs,
certainly
then
not to
run them
hate
over.
somebody. Certainly not to hate somebody based on the color of their skin,
Right, exactly.
or their funky accent, or something
Right,
like
right.
that, because they're from a foreign country.
Or their
But,
orientations, anything. We've never made fun of anyone. So anyway, but
No.
these kids, so I get out of the pool and I'm really upset. And all of a sudden they started following me, and they surrounded me, and it was like a 15-year-old, a 13-year-old, some other kids, and they called me several racist names. They were calling me cracker, and they asked what I was doing in their neighborhood, and one of them punched me really hard in the mouth and bloodied my lip and everything. And like that was it. And I ran home crying, and but it was terrible. And and still, I've never been racist. Remember I lived in Nashville. I used to go to. A lot of people don't know this about
make
me.
Make a correction. When you said you ran home, you didn't run home.
Well,
You ran to
not
the
home. I ran.
home of the place you were visiting. You weren't home.
Yes.
Because
Yes.
home
Yeah.
was the East Tennessee, in the good part where we live.
Right.
So,
Not in Southwest Tennessee. So.
No.
Yeah, that was kind of devastating, but a lot of people don't know this about me. Is I lived in Nashville. I used to go to freestyle battles. I hung around that culture a lot, and never really had any issues. I've actually walked down Compton in California just because I wanted to disprove. And I'm crazy. That's why I've been robbed a million times.
Probably. 'Cause, yeah.
But I didn't have any issues walking down Compton. But at the same time, I wasn't looking for trouble. Here's the thing: this is what I tell people, and people take it as racist sometimes, but they're idiots if they do. Look, if you're a white man and I want you to follow up with this. Let's say you're a white man in a tuxedo with a top hat. You don't go walking down Compton Avenue at midnight. If you are from Compton Avenue, you don't show up with your do-rag at a golf course that's in a really nice neighborhood. And that's not because of your race. I'm saying if you're white, black, Asian, and you're living in Compton with your do-rag on and you don't have an education and you sell drugs and that's your job, then the golf club doesn't want you there. And it's same there. Compton doesn't want the golf club. It's all how you're raised. I don't want anyone to take that the wrong way.
It's
But we all have a
it's-
choice. We all have a
It's
choice.
how you're raised. It's how your culture is.
Yes.
And yes, racism exists. Racism will always exist. Somebody's always going to, just like the feminists, somebody's always going to be a misogynist. Someone's always going to be, I hate you because you're Jewish. I hate you because you're Christian. I hate you because you're Catholic. I hate you because you're Baptist. I hate you because, like I said, when I was a kid, we called names to each other all the time, and it rolled off our back like a duck. I was called all kinds of things as an Italian. I was called Dago and Wop and
Sure.
and and all those names, and it meant nothing to me. It's
Well-
like it didn't. I didn't go home and cry about it. It's not like they just said it every day, every minute of the
Sure,
day.
sure.
And I wasn't the only Dago and Wop in the school. There was a lot of Dagos and Wops.
Hell,
in the
you were in
school.
Chicago. Of course there was Dagos and Wops in the
No,
school.
no, I wasn't in Chicago.
Well,
I was out in the country in the
Eldon.
suburbs. But no, I was out in the country. But we had a lot of Hispanics. We had tons of Hispanics.
Oh, they didn't
I
think
grew
you were
up with-
Hispanic?
No.
That's
oh no,
surprising.
no, no.
Oh, well, that's because you had the Cholos, didn't you?
Yeah, exactly. And you knew the difference between yeah. And so I had, Mexican friends and Italian friends and Polish friends and German friends and, you know, people, of all ethnicities. There's people of all ethnicities, and yeah, we would tease each other or call each other, you dumb this or you dumb that, or but it was just kids being kids. Kids are mean.
Sure.
And then all these parents want to sit there and, oh, you can't do that. That's bull. You know what? If your child falls apart because another child calls them some silly name, you need to work on your child. You need to work on your child to get a better backbone and a better. I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying you should do it. By no means, you shouldn't do it, and it's wrong. But come on, if you're gonna fall apart because someone calls you a name, you're the one with the issues. I'm sorry, but you got the issues, not that person. That person's got issues, but you got a whole different set of issues.
Right.
You can't let your world fall apart over a name.
No,
you can't. And you can't let a person who calls you a mean name define you.
Yeah.
If someone calls me a jerk, does that mean I'm a jerk?
No, and that's what we're teaching our kids now, because they're 7 and 9, almost 8 and 10, so they're in that phase where someone called the oldest one something the other day, and she was all bent out of shape about it. And I said, "Kid, what are you getting mad about? Who cares?" Well, the girl said that I was ugly and dumb and like this, and I said, "Well, are you ugly and dumb?" "No." And I said, "Okay. Then why are you mad?" And she's like, "Well," and I said, "Well, you're mad. She's winning." "No, she's not." "Yes," I said, "she's beating you right now by you getting mad at her. She's winning this whole game. So next time she comes up and says, 'You're ugly on here,' you should say, 'Oh, thank you.'" And that's it. And that's what she does, stuff like that now. And she'll tell me, she'll say, "Hey, I did what you said, and guess what? It worked." And I went, "Wow, that's amazing."
My other thing, this guy cussed me out the other day because he thought, I don't know what he thought. I was under the canopy ready to get gas, and he came pulling in the other way. And of course, he was a damn Yankee. That was his problem. It's like, this is why you give Yankees. I could tell by his voice he was from Detroit or someplace. I don't know, but and he motions for me to roll my window down, and I pretty much knew what his problem was, but I rolled the window down, and he, "You're a blankety 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 blank. You know that?"
He
said,
called you an asshole, right?
Probably. I don't even remember. I just looked at him and said, "Thank you, bless you," and I rolled the window back up, and he drove away like, "What the hell?" And I mean, I wasn't gonna empower him. I wasn't gonna. "Oh, what did you say to me? Oh, I would have got out and kicked his ass. You should have got out." "Oh, yeah, so I'm gonna get out, show my ass in front of my kid, and make a spectacle of myself in the parking lot.
Yeah.
And the police come and go to jail over some stupid, redneck."
Can I follow up with something? There's something that actually, since we're on air, I'll tell you, because that just happened to you, and something actually really similar just happened to me, and I haven't shared it with you yet. So I think it'll be kind of cool to share it with you. No, this was weird because, okay, but not a lot of people. Well, most of my followers should know. I went through some weird stuff in Brazil, as you know. I had some situations that most people won't have. So my mind over time has gotten stronger, luckily, because if you have a weak mind for certain things, what happened to me could have been a lot worse. So I get my dog, right, and I'm walking through my neighborhood. And this is the first time I decided to take the opposite road in the daytime, in the evening. I never take this road, but I said, well, I'm going to stop by the dog park, because why not? I don't feel like walking too far. I'm going to take her to the dog park. Bella, my service doggy in training, who's right here on my feet. She loves it here. Good here. I know you can't see her, but I'm showing her to everyone. See, she's looking. Okay. Yep, good girl. She just laid her head back.
Hi, Bella.
She can't hear you.
And how come she can't hear me?
Because I have headphones on. So anyway, I'm walking down this road, and all of a sudden, this guy, I'm about 50 yards away from him, right? And he yells at me. He goes, "Hey!" And I kind of looked because I thought someone was yelling at somebody. And he goes, "Hey, you!" And then sure enough, I turn and I look. And he goes, "Yeah, you motherfucker," And I'm like, I'm extremely confused. And I said, who are you talking to? And he goes, you motherfucker, you know. And I said, okay. I said, look, man, you got the wrong guy. Whatever you're mad at, you got the wrong guy. And he goes, is that a gun on your hip? And do you have a dog? Because I always carry my gun with my dog. And I said, it's Missouri. Everyone has a dog and a gun. And I said, what's your deal? And I told him, I said, what's your deal, man? Come on, I got to go. And he said, you need to stay away from my house. And I said, I've never been near your house. I don't even know you. He goes, yeah, you talked in front of my house for 10 minutes with your buddy, and I told you ought to go, and you took off running, and I had to chase you down, and you got away. You're not getting away this time, you motherfucker. And I said, sir, and I went, sir, and he goes, don't call me sir. And I said, look, man, you've got the wrong guy. You need to back off. And he said, and then he got really mad when I said, you need to back off. And he goes, stay right there. And he went inside of his house really quick. So I pulled my gun out and took off running with the dog through the yard because I thought this psychopath was going to come out and start shooting at me. Totally psychotic. But I instantly, I had my gun out and I did the thing. This is all with training. And I took a line to where he couldn't see me with the dog. And Bella was not happy. She knew something was going on. And I cut around to the apartments. And I found someone else that heard everything. So I actually found a witness, and I said, hey, I'm going to call the cops. And they're like, yeah, you need to do this. I got back to my house, and I called the cops, made a police report. So it all boils down to it was mistaken identity. But the guy he told the cops if he sees me again, he's going to beat my ass. And then the cops were like, well, you can't do that because he's already wanting to press charges. I did want to press charges on this guy because it was super threatening. But it turned out that he had gotten in an altercation. He drinks a lot. The police called me at midnight and actually woke me up to let me know. This guy has a history. I don't. This guy has a not good history. And, here, I can mute you if you're coughing. He doesn't have the great history. And also, he got in an altercation with someone, and then this person left a note on his door, and this person happens to have a dog. And apparently, just from that distance, he thought I was whoever he got in this altercation with. And the cops
because nobody has dogs, right?
Because that's why I even said it's Missouri. Everyone has a dog and a gun.
And a gun.
I mean, for real. But that's the reason he asked if I had a gun on me, and because he was scoping me out. And honestly, I think, what did he go in his house for? I mean, that's scary. You don't do that to somebody.
No.
And he was on, it was more scary because he was on private property and I'm on city property. So and that's why I'm leading up to this. So, you have to think about laws. People don't think. For me, I'm an overthinker. So within 5 seconds, I said, he's on private property. He's getting a gun. But if he engages me first and I happen to kill him, it's on his property. I'm on city property. So I'll definitely have to sit in jail for a few days until they figure it out because it's city property. You know what I mean? I'm processing everything. He's on his property, so they're going to, and if I kill him, then they don't have a witness. He has a witness who's his 10-year-old daughter. Of course, she's going to say, the meat man killed my daddy, or whatever. And so and this is what goes in my mind within moments. And unfortunately, though, this is why people need training because some people in my situation that are new with a gun might have pulled their gun out and just started shooting at him. Maybe he was going inside to show me the letter that he thought I left on the door.
Yeah.
But
the thing of it is him giving you the order. Wait, what did he say? Wait.
He said wait right there, and he went inside.
And who does he think he is to tell another
right?
Wait right there.
And that's another thing. That's in the Fourth Amendment.
You can't
obey
his commands.
Well, and that's illegally quartering somebody too. So he violated several of my amendments. And, and rights. He violated my rights. He illegally he was imprisoning me. He made me stop, and he was using threatening time. And I'm saying, I didn't feel like this. I'm not triggered or whatever. I'm not being a Ken about it. But I'm just saying, that could have gone so wrong because someone that is stupid or that didn't have training or that was really mad that day, they could have killed the guy. And it's how ballsy to say that to someone that has a dog and a gun anyway. But I did find out that this is a very common thing with this young man.
Well, yeah, and when people drink, By the way, I'm starting to look like Svengoolie because it's so dark in here.
Oh, you can, yeah, you can turn your light on. Here, actually, I'll tell you what, we're going to go to a quick commercial break, and I'll let you change your lighting, because I just noticed, and I said, wow, it's getting darker and darker. So we're going to go to a commercial break for my coffee shop, The Ground Up. So
Okay.
we'll be right back.
Sounds good.
Located at 125 South Business Highway 65, Branson, Missouri. Look for Victor the Pink Bull at the Victory Plaza. The Ground Up Coffee House and Dessert Bar, creating memories one cup at a time.
Hey, we're back. So that was my coffee shop there, The Ground Up Coffee House and Dessert Bar. It's my wife's. It's ours, but she runs it. She's the guru behind all of that. Which, by the way, Dad, I haven't talked about this at all, is we're going to have a new coffee, a locally branded coffee that is going to benefit veterans. And we're working with working with Paul Beck, who is a partner of all of this company with Victory Plaza and VP Media. And he was a veteran. They made a movie about him called 12 Strong, and there's an alcohol called 12 Strong. And 12 Strong, it's the guys that got blown up in Afghanistan. He was on the Today Show. He's been honored several times. So I'll have him on a show. I highly recommend you checking him out. You actually met him recently on Mogul Social.
Right.
So yeah, you know who exactly. Yeah. So I'll send his story.
I knew the name. When you said the name, I knew the name. So.
Yeah, and so I mean, Paul is super awesome. So we're gonna work with him on this, and I can't say the brand or anything yet. It's all in the works, but it's gonna be a new coffee, and we're gonna have a certain percentage benefit veterans. But it's not just gonna go to a foundation. We're going to be privately helping out individual smaller companies that are here local.
That's great.
Because instead of making a difference huge, you got to start local, and otherwise it falls apart, and then the corrupt people take over. So anyway, that being said, let's
it
move
doesn't
on.
matter. Help is help. It doesn't
Help
matter.
is help, exactly.
Help
you
is
know,
help.
and so down
Whether
with
you're
the
helping
corporation.
whether you're helping one guy, one girl, one or 10, it doesn't matter. Help is help. You know, like you said, it starts, and if it makes a spark, and someone says, "Hey, I like what Christy and Damien's doing," then then they might do it, and and then someone else does it, and someone else does it, and that's all that matters.
No, you're right.
Can I say something else now?
Yeah, absolutely.
I didn't know if I could talk. I didn't know if I was allowed to talk yet.
You've
But,
been talking.
Yeah, we referenced my book, and back to my book. Yes, it's I know you said something about it. It's available on Amazon, but again, I would, the book, my dream is for, I haven't made any money. I'm still your poor dad. It's not like I made any money from it, but people are still buying the book, and they're awesome patriots, and they send me a picture of it, just like your kids with the book in their hand, and they don't know how much that means to me, after losing a son to the Afghan conflict and everything, but to know that there's still patriots out there that still want to teach their children. Memorial Day is coming up, and that's a hard day for a lot of people. A lot of people, it's a day off and it's a day to just go out and barbecue, but they don't realize what that day means for a lot of people that are still honoring their loved ones that are no longer here. So, and then the ones that have, especially served their country. So the book teaches children, is a children's book, just so your listeners know, it's to teach children about patriotism and about loss. And even though that you lost someone you love, your mommy, your daddy, your uncle, your grandfather, you still got to be proud that they served their country. You still got to be proud that they did something to make a difference. So these kids will know that. They're, every time I turn on the TV, which isn't much, but when I turn it on, there's a new superhero movie, and there's always a villain, and there's always a superhero. But those superheroes are never your policemen. They're never your firemen. They're never your soldiers. They're always some guy in a cape, from a distant world or distant planet or from a cave or wherever. And that's great. That's fantasy. That's fun. But these children need to know who their real heroes are. And that's who their real heroes are. And when they see some homeless guy on the street and they don't know his story, they don't know where he came from, they might want to find out. They might want to know that might have been a guy that served our country. And they should try to know that. Okay, I'm done.
No, that's awesome. No, thank you very much for sharing that. I really like the way that you phrased all that. It is fun. The fantasy part is fun, but we do teach our kids. Unfortunately, at school they hear lots of bad things, and of course, there's a few kids that say "F the police" and they'll say things like that at school, and they don't know what they're talking about. They're not,
well, and here's the thing. You have
okay.
children. You have children, and I have young grandchildren. Okay, so you have a kid, and these kids are hearing bad police, bad police, bad police, and something happens. Somebody comes in and they start tearing the house down and mugging mommy. Now, what is the little boy or the little girl supposed to say? Oh, mommy kept saying police are bad, police are bad. Do I call the police? Do I dial 911? What do I do?
Yeah.
What do I do? Mommy says the police are bad. Uncle Joe says the police are bad. Daddy says the police are bad. Who am I supposed to call?
Right.
Here, I'll try to call Auntie Terry and Uncle Joe. And, really? I mean, that doesn't work. So, unless the kid's locked and loaded and he knows better, I mean, what
okay, wait. Let's be honest. How many kids are going to be locked and loaded if their parents are saying police are bad? Do you think there's a gun in that house?
Exactly. That's my whole point. Exactly. So, they might say the police are bad, so we need to take care of things. Well, there's people like that. Oh, we could take care of things ourselves. But, no, there's legal repercussions. There's all kinds of repercussions. Not to mention the emotional repercussions of shooting somebody, having to shoot somebody. The emotional repercussions that would follow that for your days. So, some people say, I can do it. I can do it in a heartbeat, not blink an eye. And, I look at them like,
well, I mean, you can talk to me from experience in those situations. It's not, I'll tell anyone right now, you don't know how you're going to act in any of those situations until you're actually in one of those. And I hope that no one's ever in that. Look, I've seen a lady get her throat cut open right in front of me while the guy is trying to rob her, and then we're chasing him down, and then he gets blown away.
I remember that. But now, tell your viewers that the lady did live.
She did live. That's one thing I was really, really worried about her.
She went to the hospital, and you checked on her, and the lady did live. So
well,
I want your viewers to know that the lady did live.
Well, and it was bad. She was really lucky. Her friend, I believe, her friend was also a doctor in training, so she was working at the hospital, and so I think her friend she took something, or maybe it was her shirt or something, and she wrapped it around and pulled her jugular together. Because this guy slashed her jugular. You usually don't live through that. One of our people online, Kentucky Ballistics, he just blew his jugular out with a 50 cal. It exploded on him, and he lived. His father was right there, and his dad put a thumb in his jugular vein, and he survived. So now they're selling T-shirts that says "Just put a thumb in it" with a thumbs up, and he's recovered really well.
That's a little too graphic. Let's save that for another show, shall we?
But anyway, my whole point is people don't know how they're, I know a lot of people are like, man, if someone ever broke in my house, I'd blow their head off. Have you ever seen someone's head get blown off? You don't know what it's going to be
in the movies, in the movies, and they don't get it. And, it's just.
Okay, I'll tell you. If you want to know two movies that best represent guns and actual murder like that would be Tarantino would be the first one. Watch any of his movies, except for when people go flying through the air with shotguns. And then also was it American Mafia, the one with Brad Pitt and James Gandolfini right before he died. I believe it was American Mafia, something like that. The guy gets shot in the head with a shotgun. It was pretty gnarly. It was gross.
It is.
No, anyway, but just don't be an a-hole and don't act like, just be humble about it and say, hey, I'm gonna practice so that way I'm ready for this. Watch some police videos. I still watch police videos to try to break them down, but I do it for training. I train with my gun every single day, unloaded. I unload the gun, and I do when there's no one in the house. I'm not kidding. Every day I practice my quick draw, my aim, and my reholster. I practice, pointing around because I have a laser that I can touch, and I use that for targeting. You know, and it's fun. It's good. I practice every day though, and people don't know that about me, because if you say that to people, they think you're a gun nut, and I'm not. We don't own more guns than most people. We have 3 guns. Okay, we have 4 guns, but
don't tell everybody that, Damien. They don't want to.
okay, we have 46 guns. Okay, we have 400 guns, but anyway, that's not the point. You know, but you got to train with them, and don't base it off of GTA 5 and Call of Duty. You know, and tell people that you're a pro, and I don't like that.
Okay, and thank you for that segue, because I want to say something. As a father and a grandfather,
I'll probably disagree with this one, but go ahead.
No, you won't. But if you do, just be quiet. So look, I know you got a lot of parents out there, a lot of new parents, a lot of young people, maybe people my age listening in, and hopefully you got kids. And they play these games, Call of Duty, and what's the other one?
Grand Theft Auto 5.
Military. No, the military ones. The ones about the
that's
military.
Call of Duty.
Call of Duty, yeah, but there's another one. Anyway.
Oh, Battlefield, yeah.
Something, and your kids play these games, okay? And they're games. Your kids, when I say kids, I'm talking 13, 14, 15, 12, 18, I don't care. They need to know their games. Take it from me, a father who's lost a son from war, from bullets. When your kids are playing this game, they get to hit the pause button. They get to hit pause and get up, go use the bathroom, take a break, get a peanut butter sandwich, grab a soda. They can do those things. When you're out on the battlefield and people are shooting real bullets at you, you can't hit a pause button. And you can't hit a reset button and a restart button and bring that person back. So just please remember that when these kids are doing that, because they get so caught up in it. They get so caught up in the violence, and they get so caught up in, I'll wipe out all those guys, I'll save America, I'll wipe out all those guys. No, I mean, look how many years it's been, and we haven't wiped out all those guys. So I just want parents to just be aware of that and remember that, you can't hit the reset button in real life. You can't do it, and you can't bring people back. So I just wanted to say that. Thank you.
No, and I do fully agree with you. I thought you were going a different route at first, so I do fully agree. Like, okay, our oldest, she watches, I play Grand Theft Auto 5 for another live stream.
I hate that. And I hate that. I wouldn't let you play it when you're young.
I know.
Tell the audience that.
I know. You're right.
That's why you're recapturing your childhood by playing it.
No. So
my daddy wouldn't let me play it, so I'm going to play it now.
No. Well, with our oldest, I do the live streams and I do comedy stuff and whatever. And I'll let her watch my live streams, because I actually I don't shoot the cops in the game. I really don't. People make fun of me for it, but every time I get in trouble with the cops, I'll run out and just get it over with and let them just shoot me.
I know,
but no, it's a fun game.
You're an adult. You're an adult. You know it's a game. The
right. But no. So with with both of them now, I let them watch it because I know the content that I'll be doing, and I know that it'll be censored, but they're not allowed to play it. They've already asked, and I said absolutely not. You're not mature enough to play this. But at the same time, the oldest, she keeps a rifle in her closet. I'm the one that allows her to keep a rifle in her closet. Is it locked? Yes. She can't load it or pull the trigger. It has bullets next to it, so it's all right there. But that is helping her get used to the fact of having it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's helping her be aware. That's fine.
Yeah. And actually, so there was one time. We heard something outside, and I had got my shotgun. And I started going, and she was not asleep yet, and she's like, "Is everything okay? Do I need to load my gun?" And I said, "No, sweetheart, I appreciate it. Just go to your room, and I'll check it out." But it was just someone that had walked through our yard, I guess. I don't know, which is not okay. My dog's back talking to me. But anyway, if your kids are wondering about guns, get them started young. These parents that are like, "No, my kid can't have a BB gun." That's fine. That is fine. Get him a real gun rather than a BB gun. Don't get him a BB gun, something that can't kill you. Get him a dangerous, real 22 or stronger, and teach them how to use it. Control them with it. Because guns are just tools. They can be a lot of fun. They can be great tools. They can make great hammers as long as they're not loaded. Hell, you ever lose your hammer, you have a gun on your hip, you go, well, I need a hammer, you unload it, check it, make sure it's all safe, pull the trigger at the ground, turn it around, and then use it as a hammer. I mean, or what I do is I take the slide off of my gun and I use it as a hammer. So anyway, we teach our kids, and what I recommend doing is the melon test. Get a watermelon or get a cantaloupe, and you take it for target practice, and you let your kids shoot that. And then you explain to them right after they see it explode, you say, all right, look at me. Did you see what just happened to that melon and how it exploded? I said, okay, now I want you to imagine that was your sister's head. And they go,
Oh, that's
no, I know. And I told them, I want you to imagine. And they were like, oh, what? And they both almost cried over, like, you know, I said, seriously, you point that gun at anyone that you're not intending that to happen to, that's what can happen. Don't do it. And, you know, they're not scared. They respect guns so much. We leave guns out all the time. I mean, now they're not loaded or the safety's on, you know. I mean, they're magazines in. But the kids, they don't touch our guns. And there's a reason, you know, we go around the house. I mean, I'll leave my gun in different places, unloaded, just to kind of test them. And what made me so proud one time with Christy's gun, I was carrying it at the time because I needed something small that could fit in my pocket. And because I was going on a job and I didn't know the area, but I didn't want my big old gun on my hip. So I just had my little pocket gun. But I had it on the table. It was holstered. And Riley, the youngest, I said her name, whatever. She had walked by it, and she looked down, and she looked at me, and she said, oh, hey, it's on safety. Good job. So she didn't touch it, but she looked down at the gun on the table and noticed the safety lever was on. And so she told me, good job for having the safety on. And it made me really proud because she knew what that was. So I encourage all parents to do that. And even, look, if you're not a gun person, you're going to give your kids anxiety, though, by telling them guns are bad. You know, my brother, my dad's son right here, I mean, he was killed with an AR-15. Do you hate AR-15s?
Well, he was killed because of an AR-15.
Yeah, but not because of an AR-15, because of a man with the AR-15, right?
Well, exactly.
So that's my point. Do you hate, and I want this to be public for people because they need to hear it. Do you hate AR-15s? Yeah, do you hate it? Yeah.
No, absolutely not.
Well, why not? It's responsible for our family member's death. Why don't you hate AR-15s?
No, I hate the reason that this guy shot my son.
Oh, you mean it took a reason and another person with a gun to do something? Oh, so it wasn't the gun.
You know.
That's right, because he wasn't standing there and a gun, it didn't get up and walk over there.
If your kid drowns in the swimming pool, do you hate the swimming pool? Are you going to hate all swimming pools? I mean, yeah, you might cringe. That's true. You might cringe every time you pass a swimming pool. That is true. But are you going to, you can't blame the swimming pool.
Yeah.
I mean, it's ridiculous.
Well, a car accident. Are you going to never drive a car again, or are you going to never ride in a car?
Exactly. That's exactly right. Because I have had friends whose kids have got killed in a car, but that doesn't stop them from driving a car anymore.
Sure.
That doesn't stop them.
Well, and we won't stay in a dark topic. I really wanted people to know that.
Yeah, you are in a dark topic. Get out of the dark.
No,
Get out of this dark topic.
But it's important. The last thing I'll say about it, because we only have a few minutes anyway, is I want people to know, though, to actually have two people that are talking that have lost someone as a result of a firearm. I mean, I've lost several friends because they got killed in Brazil. You know,
right.
So I mean, but I've never looked at my gun and went, you're responsible for all of this. Well, no, it's not. My gun didn't do anything wrong. This gun that I have has never shot anyone.
And that's a good point. Hey, you know what? How did you get the gun?
Right.
With money.
Right.
With money. So let's look at the money and say, you know what? We need to abolish money because money bought the gun.
Yeah.
So let's abolish money.
Or how about instead of abolishing stuff, we just look at the person and say, oh, you're the asshole. You're the one that did this.
I'm being sarcastic.
No, I know, but so am I. I'm being facetious now.
You know,
people want to blame.
Guns are bad. You know.
We live in a narcissistic society where people are entitled, and it's absolutely disgusting. Did you see the video? Even though I'm banned from Facebook, restricted for 30 days, did you see the video of the 5 little thin model girls littering in our parking lot?
No.
Oh, it has
did not.
thousands of shares now, and I will share it at the end of this video. So they decided to park in our parking lot, and then as they left, they just were throwing trash out of their window, and then one of them opened their door and dumped like 4 McDonald's bags and all their trash just in our parking lot, because it's our problem now. And they were these little diva girls, and I posted the video, and the best comment that I read was, you know what's sad is the parents that raised those girls are the same type of people that would be angry at you for posting the video rather than what their child did.
Exactly.
And I went, that is beautiful. The person that said that, absolutely beautiful. And I won't say who they are, because they're in the same position as you. They got lots of followers, and they're in the 74 million and all that.
Did they bleep out their faces, or did you bleep out their faces?
Oh,
or?
absolutely not. No, they were on private property. They were filmed. No, we have a sign that lets you know by being on our property, you're on camera. And in the state of Missouri, that's 100% legal. And it doesn't matter if you're
exactly
a minor.
right.
That's the thing. That law, once you're on there, if you're permitted on that property by a legal guardian, or you're on that property, we can show your face all over the world. Because it's
right.
our property at that point, because we're not owning you, we're owning that image. And no one can fight me on that, because I'm in the film industry. I know film laws, commercial laws, all that up and down. And, you know, you could take me to court and everything, and you would definitely lose if I have your face on my camera. And not only that, they committed a crime. In the city of Branson, it's up to 1 year in jail for littering.
Are they local, or are they?
They are. I ran their license plate. They are local, and they'll be getting a ticket here soon. We've already had a few conversations. The deal is we won't press any charges for their littering, because I already cleaned all of it up. But hopefully they're embarrassed enough to where they've learned a lesson. And if their parents didn't teach them to do that, I hope that their parents are very upset. Because would I ever do that to anyone? Just throw trash on their wall. That's awful. That is absolutely terrible, and you don't do that. And I learned you never
I'm
do
sure
that.
there's enough garbage cans around.
They went to our shop even. And you know, it was nice. They supported the shop, but they threw the cups from our shop out too. And it's so, you know, I would rather, and I made it known that, hey, if you're that type of person, then don't support us. That's, you know, come on. Don't do that.
Right.
Because most people are not like that. That's 1% of people. Actually, 20% of the whole population are a-holes, and 80% are genuinely good people. I'd like to think that anyway. I'd like to keep that
I would try to patch it up and end it on a good note. Say, you know, girls, I'm sure you didn't mean to do this. You know, apology would be nice. You know, but and I'm sure you didn't mean to. But you know, maybe you can hey, film them making an apology and run that.
No, I mean, you know,
what would be wrong with that? What would be wrong with that? Young people need to be apologetic. They need to learn how to be humble and apologetic. So, you know, I mean, if we just, I mean, shaming them is one thing, but if we just do that forever, and I mean, it's fine. That part's already been done, but now they need to make amends. They need to make amends, and they need to come in and they need to apologize. And that, you know, they need to apologize for their own souls, for everybody else's, for what they did. They just need to make amends with that.
And it's funny, I know
that's my opinion.
I know, and it's just littering. We sound like we need to crucify them, but it's a thing. Is I want people to know. And last thing before we start wrapping up, and as a parent now, and you know, you have to teach them while they're young, because something as small as letting them litter, it turns into much bigger problems, and people don't realize that it does. Simple things like that. Them watching you flick a cigarette butt out the window. Something as small as that.
It's like those people that think it's okay to dump their ashtray at the red light. It's like, are you kidding me?
And actually,
and they open their door
in Branson, you can get up to 1 year in jail for all of that, even for a cigarette.
Wow.
No, it's $1,000 fine minimum, and up to 1 year in jail. And they've actually there have been people sentenced that have been sentenced for it here. Like, it's crazy.
And it's fun you bringing that up. It's funny that all these liberals that think like it's so, you know, Canada and all their stuff. Let them go to Canada and start spray painting BLM all over buildings and see what happens to them in Canada. That's I dare
People
them.
are under the impression that Canada doesn't have laws.
Oh, please.
Right?
You know what? Canada is one of the cleanest countries on this earth. You don't dare litter in Canada.
I can vouch for that. I mean, it was, It was very nice. It was very clean. That was one thing.
It's very clean. It's very nice.
The city
it's very
seemed
impressive.
Montreal seemed a little. I mean, not Montreal. Vancouver seemed kind of rundown, but not in a rundown way like most U.S. cities. It was older, but it was actually very clean. You know,
It's very clean
I didn't
because of the
notice.
laws.
One thing Christy and I both said was like, we're in a big city, but it's not dingy. There's not trash. And we just never saw
No.
trash anywhere.
No, there's not. There's
And
not.
it was-
and that's
it
what I
was
said when I was there. I
beautiful.
said, "Oh my God!" I know. It's like, wow, it's so clean. And people got off the tour bus, and they had to light up a smoke and everything. It's like, well, you don't throw your cigarette butts. The bus driver was out there watching because you don't throw your cigarette butts on the ground here.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Yeah, and
Don't do that.
with the Mounties, you will get in some huge horse crap for littering. Those
Yeah.
guys see you litter, man, their horse will kick you in the face. And and I don't get littering. There's only one thing that I consistently throw on the ground, and it's a dissolving biodegradable. It's a type of tea that I have, and it's good for the ground. You do that, and it's because they get it from the ground. There's no additives. You know me, I'm really big on spirit, nature stuff, and so I'll throw those in my backyard afterwards. You take the string off, you pull that, and you can just toss it. And it's cool because they're biodegradable. And I throw it in one spot, and I'm just curious to see what happens. So I'm monitoring it, but they are in a spot to where if they don't truly dissolve like they're supposed to, and all the tea and everything into the ground, then I'll just scoop them and throw them away. But that's my yard. I'm doing that in my
That's
own
your
yard.
yard.
So I can
That's
do
your
what I
own
want
yard.
in
That's
my.
right.
But I'm not gonna pollute my own yard. I just made the girls pick up a whole bunch of trash, and it was the neighbor's trash that blew in our yard. But I said, well, it's our property. They don't own their house. We own ours. So get your ass out there and clean up.
Right.
But anyway,
They need to learn.
we're going to start talking more often. I'm going to bring you on more often because as I'm moving forward with Gumo TV and several shows, we definitely want to hear more from you. I'm going to talk to some of your people about doing rebroadcasts of maybe America Out
people?
Loud.
I have people.
Oh wait, the phone's ringing. I think Christy's calling for me. So anyway, we
I have
are gonna.
people.
You do have people. Thank you for being on the show, and I'm gonna talk to you soon. We'll be able to see this by Tuesday evening.
I love you, son.
I love you too. That's the weirdest thing I've ever said on the show. No. Love you.
Love you.
And here's the
Bye-bye.
outro.